See, the angle he wants is coming right at the hairline, and it's the same all the way down. This is a healthy foot. I can put an angle on the bottom. If I had flare to do, I would just pretend I had lines on the bottom 1/3 of his foot, take them off. And once I had all new hoof, go to the next. See, just like that. And then again, I always finish off with the bevel, round it up, and then look over the top. Make sure you have nice symmetry. Mwah. And that's lesson 2. See, pretty quick when you stay on top of things. Okay, lesson 3 would be the heels. And please refer to my website about how to place the heels. Again, if you don't have a hoof stand, here's another way to hold the foot. Step in, park your tool. Don't try to do this with your tool in your hand. Slip your foot around. Get them comfortable between your knees. See how my toes are far apart? I want to pinch, pinch my knees, and I can hold the foot that way. Relax. Get up. Funny. Come on. I don't usually do the heels every time. I worry about them once a month, but I will check for balance. So for this inner heel, I just want to come straight back. Think of moving the heel back, not taking it down, and make a good flat landing pad. And the heel quarters is right there. It needs to be as high as the rest of the wall. The heel stands up over the sole, and the height will depend on how strong the back of your horse's foot is. And we'll talk about that on my website. So this is pushing like that. Remember, keep the handle in the middle. For this one, I stand and just pull towards myself. Keep it nice and flat. And I can look at this line to see if they're about equal. And I'm also going to sight the heel, which I'll show you how to do in a second. Good boy. Good boy. Now for sighting the heel, I start with new folks putting a little towel down there and get right over the top. Hey, 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 stand up. Right over the top and sight those heels. And I want them to be on the same plane. See, I'm looking right here to make sure they're level. It's really not that hard. They are level. And then I just sort of take off the edge around there. This is all 45 degrees. This is just take the edge off. And there he is. I've groomed my foot for the week. Perfect. This is, I'm checking to see if these heels are on the same plane. So I look right over the top of them. This I know is all good because I've trimmed it according to the lamina, which is indirectly the coffin bone. But the heels, I want to make sure they're the same height. And you can see a good strong contrast over that towel, I'm sure. Is that a good angle? There. Okay. So let's look at the right front now. If you have a horse that pulls his knee, you can just put your knee in front of them. But I would encourage you to train your horse to hold his foot nicely, because they should be able to do that. Again, really dig in here. See, he's exfoliated all of his sole. But if you can pull some powdery stuff out of there, do, because that'll tell you where the real sole is. Again, he's got concavity, a little bit less. It seems to go about to here instead of the lamina. And that doesn't surprise me. These hooves aren't static. They're organic, they're bionic, some people say. So lesson 1, take a nice strong 45-degree angle on the outer wall and the inner wall. See the long stroke I take? Just take a look every time. Have I reached the lamina? Have I reached the lamina? There it is. It's off-white and it has little leaflets. Now, to get this side, sometimes I'll do this. Start off with the easy side. And then if you feel comfortable, once you get a little confidence, go with the harder side. Remember the heel quarter we want down. Make sure that's down. And then we'll go around the toe. Keep your handle up. Don't let it flatten out. Do not hit that sole. You won't hurt the horse, but it's wrong. These little feathery things are just from the wall. Don't worry about that. That's perfectly normal. These are called the quarters. Here's the heel quarter back here. Keep going until you see the lamina. Now I just start to round things up a little bit. If you're just starting out, give your horse a break. Make sure the width is about the same all the way around. So this needs a little more. Good boy. If you'd like a little break, don't fight with him. Work with your horse. Here, I'm showing you a 45-degree angle from where I sit. See? Get your hand up. Don't let that handle get low. That's a typical beginner mistake. And just round things up, and over here I tend to just pull it. Okay. So that's pretty good for right now. So again, that would be lesson 1, and I would encourage a new trimmer to do just lesson 1 on all the hooves for a month until I came back. Now this would be lesson 2, trim from the top. Gonna put the stand at his knee height. Make sure he's got a nice bend there. Get him under my arm so he's steady, and I have one foot on the stand. You want them to feel secure. I'm gonna put a nice bevel or angle, a Mustang roll, whatever you want to call it, all around the foot. And again, if this horse had flair, I just pretend there were little columns all around the bottom third only. Don't go higher than 1/3 of the foot. Here's a little crack. It's very superficial. Cracks happen. That's the role of the outer wall to protect what's inside. So don't get all upset about a crack here and there. If it's a big crack, I can promise you that you have flair. See, his angle is all the same, but sometimes you'll see horses that go here and then it just flares right out. Here I'm looking over the top to get a little symmetry. Make sure it feels nice and round. And that's the end of lesson 3, or at lesson 2. And I'd encourage the person now to do lesson 1 and 2 every week for a month until I come back. Good boy. Now go back to the heels. So now we're going to move on to lesson 3, which I honestly do probably just once a month, and that's the heels. On the outside heel, I plant my foot, just think of dragging it back. A really healthy foot, the heel will come all the way back to the widest part of the foot. But I've learned with this horse that is too low of a heel. He will be ouchy on rocks if I do that. And the correct height for any heel is the height your horse wants to be comfortable. And then I do this. I sort of rest on my knee here, and again, just drag this back. I'm looking at these lines, one there and one there. Sort of get them about the same. And then just take off the edge. See, we want a nice flat landing pad. Jamie Jackson calls this the heel buttress. This has got to really be strong. Good, strong frog. If he were at all sensitive there, I'd be treating it. And then a really healthy foot will have lateral cartilages that meet right under this frog. And then you'll have a digital cushion that's full of blood vessels to dissipate energy. And that's what a healthy domestic foot looks like. Good boy. Now we'll sight the heels.